You may notice that half of my webcam is cut off. That's for reasons. Don't worry about that. This blob here does not exist. Ignore it. Okay. Don't worry about it. Exactly. Anyway, hello. Welcome to podcast. I think this is episode 5. Honestly, I lost count, but hopefully I'm right. If not, I'm sure I'll correct it in the title later when this goes on YouTube. Or I'll post a message and say how disappointed in myself I am about not being able to count. But I think it's episode 5. You are incorrect. This is episode 6. You absolute forehead. So the reason I've lost count is because I'm having to upload Ted's podcast, and I think they're a number below ours. So they're an episode behind us. They're on 4, and we're one ahead of them. I think I don't fucking know. Anyway, so this episode we're talking about some chill instrumental music. We got Eskmo's self-titled album. We've got The Joy of Motion by Animals as Leaders, and we've got Ochre by Edamame. So yeah. I guess we'll start with mine first because why not? So, a little bit of backstory on this album. Back, I think sophomore year of high school, one of my friends introduced me to Eskmo's music, and I would say that this album, specifically the self-titled one, is important to me because it kind of got me into that genre of music, right? Like the kind of instrumental, chill, electronic stuff. So this would eventually lead to me getting into Aphex Twin and Flying Lotus and exploring all of the artists that are on the Ninja Tune and Warp record labels, and even Flying Lotus's record label Brainfeeder as well. So a lot of similar styles of music I got into because of finding Eskmo. So I definitely consider this album very important, and it's nice going back and revisiting it because it has been a while since I've sat down and listened to the whole thing. So I can definitely still say that I still enjoy this album a lot. Just a little background info on Eskmo if you're unfamiliar. His name is Brendan Angelides. He produces music under 2 aliases, Eskmo and Welder, which I think Eskmo being the more well-known of the two. He hasn't really released anything under the Welder name in quite some time. But nowadays, he's working on the soundtrack for the Netflix show 13 Reasons Why. So he hasn't really released any serious music in a while, unfortunately. I think the last album of his that I remember him dropping was Soul, which I think came out... Hold on, I can find the year for that as soon as Fubar comes up. So Soul came out in 2015, and then I think he released another album right after that one, and then since then he's just kind of been working on soundtracks. But yeah, like I said, the self-titled album is really great. Like I said, revisiting it was really nice, and I still like this album a lot. It's very chill, very good. That's all I got. Oh wait, fucking hold on. I have the wrong audio output, so nobody can hear you right now. There we
Oh,
go.
yeah.
You're good. Start over. Good.
Okay.
Good. I caught
Cool.
that early. Good. I caught that early before anyone started saying anything. Otherwise, I'd have to be like, guys, we have to re-record the whole thing.
Uh, thank God.
So I apologize for the. Oh shit, my microphone is very loud. Okay, I apologize for you guys not being able to hear the other two. You can now.
Yeah, thank
I'm
you.
not just talking to myself. They are indeed here.
Or are we?
I don't know
Um,
about that, man. You got ghosts
yeah.
in your head.
I mean,
You should
Maybe,
do
maybe.
cocaine.
Absolutely
do
not.
cocaine about it and see how that goes.
Cocaine them.
Yeah.
Anyway, you were saying.
So I really love like chill out electronic music. It, I'll explain it more when I get to my album, but I'm kind of mad at myself. I'll explain it later. But I really liked this album. Um, it's hard for me to put into like exact words why I like the chill out uh electronic so much, just other than the fact that it just keeps me calm.
Yeah.
It's just really something. It's another album that I would definitely put on like one of my like chill playlists, just to like I want to wind down for the day, hear something that I can like sit here and listen to and just chill and just relax and just do absolutely fucking nothing for like a couple hours. This would be on that fucking playlist.
Yeah, for sure. I used to
It's
get very stoned and listen to this album. I'll say that.
Fair.
same. Not with this album, but with the one I picked. This is actually my first time listening to this album. Never really heard
Oh no,
until now. You talk about
Steven is dying.
them a lot, and I think you've seen them live. I can't remember.
No, I have not seen him live.
What? Why am I dying? Why am I dying?
You were just going full robot mode. Like, you were sounding like this. But you're good now.
Oh, can
You're
you?
good.
Okay. My
Yeah.
bit rate must have fucked up.
Oh,
So what?
you're good.
You're good.
Anywho,
Oh no, it's doing it again. Steven,
never really heard these guys until you put them in the chat.
Your bit rate is fucked.
It's like the second the second we say Steven, it fixes itself.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Steven. Maybe it'll keep working now.
Okay.
But so this is a solid album. I definitely dug it. Some highlights off of this album are my brain just derped. I Love You and I Let You Go, and We Got More. It's good, chill, some solid bongo in a couple of these pieces, and I dig it. Well, it's not synth bongo. It sounds like bongo music.
I don't know what song you're talking about with a bongo, but maybe I missed it.
But I like this album a lot. It's solid. I mean, I guess that's pretty much all I have to say about it.
I see. But yeah, just one more thing before we finish up with this. I think Eskmo's production is really interesting because he did a Tiny Desk concert for NPR a while ago, and he asked them to just kind of give him like random objects, and if you look at footage of his other live shows, he does the same thing where he'll just take like pieces of paper or plastic bottles or like planks of wood and use that as the instruments in the songs, and I think that's really interesting.
That is super cool. I feel like I've seen videos on like Facebook where someone will like smack a board against a wall and then just take that clip of that sound and then like make that every single like thing in the song. And I'm like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, like I'm trying to figure out what album it's off of. There's the video I'm thinking of specifically is of him playing the song San Francisco, the rhythm off of the Hypercolor EP. There's a video of that where I guess there's a very obvious example of this. So I'll link that video in the description if you want to check that out once this is on YouTube. But anyway, I guess we'll move on here. So whoever wants to go next.
I'd honestly like to talk about my brain just derped. The Joy Emotion album.
All right, Animals as Eaters, sure.
Yeah, that works. So when I guess I'll explain it now. When you said instrumental album, my brain just kind of farted and was like, that means only instruments. What is electronic music? Electronic music isn't instrumental. What are you talking about? And my brain just kept showing that at me for like 4 days straight. And by the time I had listened or even started listening to the albums, I had posted my album, and then I listened to both of yours, and I was like, "Fuck," because I literally I knew if I realized what you guys had picked before I had picked mine, I would have had the perfect choice for it. Not saying that this album isn't good, because I fucking love this
Mhm.
album, but I had one that was closer to me. But I found well I heard of Animals as Leaders not too long ago from a friend who is fucking massively into like more of the math rock, kind of like really technically intense kind of song music. So he showed me this one, and I was like, it's I fucking loved it from like the second he showed me. I would echo the sentiment. Where was it, Mike? That you said the guitarist. He's just it blows my fucking mind sometimes what he can do on a goddamn guitar.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just really like it. It just flows really fucking each song to me just flows really well into the next one.
Mhm. All right. Well, Steven, I'll let you go next. Since what you got?
So like, I'd never heard of this group, and I'm like a huge sucker for heavy guitar riffs and good guitar chords. I mean, I think that shows pretty well in like the music that I normally listen to, like power metal, Luca Turillia, Rhapsody, bands like that.
Mm-hmm.
This gave me a lot of the guitar vibes from that, and I super fucking dig that. I don't have many guitar instrumental groups that I listen to, like, at all, just because that's not something you find a lot of typically
Mm-hmm.
in your, like, recommended and stuff. I'm really, really happy you picked this album over an electronic album because I guarantee you I probably would have never gone out of my way to listen to them. Their
Fair.
cover art is interesting enough, but I
Mhm.
don't think it's like something I'd see and immediately go, "Oh wow, that looks cool. I'll listen to that."
Mhm.
Um, this is like a wicked solid
Man, there goes the bit rate.
album. I really like this.
Okay,
Um,
That is.
good.
it's like a really solid album. I really, really
Mhm.
enjoyed this. Arithmophobia is fucking great. The
Mhm.
Future That Awaited Me is really, really good, and Crescent's solid too. Like, I loved pretty much everything on the album. Those are just a few things that really stood out
Okay.
to me. This is slapped.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, my mic is only on the left side. That's weird. Okay. Hopefully it wasn't like that the whole time, but it's fine now. Anyway, I've known about animals as leaders for a while, so I'm very familiar with them. Yeah, like I said in the Discord notes, the things that Tosin Abasi can do on a guitar is just nuts. Like I've seen like footage of him playing it, the Nam show before, and it's fucking wild. But yeah, Joy of Motion is a really solid album, and Steven mentioned a track off of their album Madness of Many, Arithmophobia. So I guess you check that song out too. That album is also really great as well.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, it's just like a really solid instrumental progressive metal album with like some gentiness to it. So it definitely my cup of tea. I enjoyed it a lot.
Mhm.
I guess that leaves me.
Yep.
Mhm.
Um, so I heard you talk about Edamame a lot when you were down here and we hung out all the time. And when we went to Starkville and stuff like that, you played some of it for me. And I was like, okay, it's good. It sounds like lo-fi. I like lo-fi. But I wasn't like super into it. And then yeah. And then my buddy Bryson, one of my coworkers, was playing it one day at work. I was like, "Oh shit, what's that?" And this is the reason I didn't want to pick the other album you were recommending to me, Mike. And he was like, "Oh, it's Edamame." And I was like, "Oh, I know who they are. Like, what album is that?" And he said, "It's Ochre." Favorite song off of this is without a doubt Tree Shadows. I used to get cooked, like beyond baked, and listen to this album repeat for hours, and it's fucking stellar. I love this album so much. It's really good. Just chill, instrumental. Like he he talks at one point, not on the album, but like in an interview, about
Mhm.
how he would just go into nature and listen to like rain falling or like different tree sounds and stuff like that, and then use that as inspiration for the albums. And
Hmm.
that's why one of the songs Tree Shadows is called Tree Shadows, is because he went into the woods, listened to trees rustling in the wind and water dripping.
You still there? Okay, well, I guess
Oh
we'll.
no.
Oh no. Well,
Oh no.
we lost him. Well, in case he doesn't come back, I'll just go ahead and start what I want to say.
Mhm.
So like Steven said, I guess I kind of introduced him to Edamame at some point. I'm not saying I don't remember this. I suggest music to a lot of people, so sometimes I forget. But I guarantee I've probably played something of his to Steven before. But yeah,
Oh,
yep, we've lost him.
oh,
There he
rip,
goes.
rip, Rooney.
Uh, but yeah. Oh, he's back. He's back. You there? Hello? All right. Well, I'll just continue. But anyway, yeah, Edamame is really chill. Uh, really just consistent down tempo, hip hop inspired electronic music. Really, really good stuff. I always dig like the album covers are really neat. But I haven't heard the album that Steven recommended, Ochre. I actually didn't have this one in my collection. Oh boy, don't play it. But yeah, I liked it a lot. It sounds pretty similar to a lot of Edamame's other stuff, so I knew I wasn't gonna hate it. But I guess some recommendations of other albums of his that I do like, because I did suggest to Steven maybe we could talk about Coalesce Colors, which is one of my favorite albums. But some other ones that I really like of his, Greenhouse, Bay of Plenty, and the first Cold Floors EP are some of my favorites. Uh, but some of the newer stuff, 2016 and on, I haven't really heard. I've kind of stopped, I guess, paying attention to the stuff he puts out, but maybe I'll go back and see if there's anything new that I missed.
Hmm.
So nice going back and checking out some of, at least one of the Edamame albums I might have missed.
Yeah, when when I started to listen to it, I don't want to say that I necessarily got the exact same feeling as when I was listening to Eskmo, but I just it felt um I still felt like I had the same just general feeling while I was listening to the album. Where I was like, I'm just relaxed. Like I can sit here and just not really like listen. I don't have to be like super in tune with the music or like trying to listen super carefully for it. It's just really nice, relaxing, and kind of like I can just keep fucking playing it for hours. I felt like I have the same sentiment as Eskimo, but in general, I just still love this album and I love this genre, I guess, or this kind of electronic.
Yeah, yeah. Steven, are you with us? Do you live?
Oh boy,
I think he's fucking dead.
he did. He did.
Okay. Well, I don't know what to do now. He's here and he unmuted himself, but if he's trying to talk, I can't hear a single fucking thing he's trying to tell me. Uh, shit.
Something. Uh,
Yep. Mm.
Hello? Can
There
y'all
we
hear
go.
me?
there we go.
Hey, he came back.
Okay. My phone hated that. I walked through the door and I realized what the problem was pretty quickly, thankfully. Um, I have my stream, like, or not my stream, but my computer set up in the living room right now because the socket in my office fried.
Mm-hmm.
When I walked in, it tried to relink me to the streaming app I use for video game streaming so I can play it in my room.
Oh, rip.
Mm.
When it did, it ripped my voice from this Discord to my computer. I don't have a mic equipped to my computer in the room, so it started freaking out.
Oh boy.
Oh wow.
Sorry about that.
You're good. But I don't know exactly where you cut off. So, whatever you remember you said last, you can pick up from there, unless you were done.
Just basically like I love this stuff because it's super chill and vibey, and it's not like heavy at all.
Mhm.
This is the type of thing that I put on and get baked to. Uh, and that's pretty much it. It's just a really, really good chill album. And this album got me into Edamame fully, and now I listen to them pretty regularly. Or well, him, I guess.
Yeah.
But and that's all.
Well, um, that does it for the albums for the week. I haven't been to the record store lately, so I don't have a vinyl update for you guys. And I don't really have anything else to talk about. Actually, Conley, you mentioned that you picked up a shit stack.
I did. It came in Friday fully. And
Has
I
your
got
life been forever changed?
it definitely yes. So I kind of
Yeah, that's our boy.
I got the Madi and the Magni 3 or 3 Plus. I cheaped out on the headphones. I shouldn't say I cheaped out because they're still good headphones. I got the Schick 9500s.
Okay.
But I kind of like to. I'm one of those people that likes to have like a selection. So I also Mike, thank you for mentioning Zeos or Z reviews because I've been fucking addicted to watching almost all of his goddamn videos for like 3 weeks now. Like I'm not kidding. I've ran through like half his videos just because he's just so entertaining. I don't get it.
Like all of his videos, none of them are edited. It's done in one take off of a fucking
GoPro on his head.
off of a GoPro on his head, and he goes into so much detail about everything.
It's and like I then started watching his like second channel where he's just doing his life shit, like he's unboxing like fucking spray bottles, and I'm like, why am I watching this? Why is this so entertaining?
He just moved out of an apartment, which, by the way, he was renting 2 apartment units. One of them was his office, and then the other one was like where he actually slept. And I'm like, bruh. And then he moves into this giant ass fucking house.
Massive. Like Jesus Christ. Okay, it's not like mind-blowingly big, but it's bigger than I was expecting when he's at house tour.
Yeah.
Must be nice to have some money like that.
Really?
It really must be.
One day when we're all rich and loaded, we can all buy a streamer house, you know?
Yeah.
Fair, yeah.
We'll all just live together in Utah.
So yeah, I have been watching just too many of his fucking videos, like trying to find like a good price point for like quality, but also the price for headphones. And I was like, fuck it. Schick 9500s are good for $80. I'll probably in like another 2 or 3 weeks gonna get something closer to the like $150-$200 range.
Yeah.
If
But
you're going $200, like if that's your entry point, get planar. Go planar.
Either go planar or get the HD6XX. Or actually, I think Hi-Fi Man has the 5XX out now, which is about the same price, and it's comparable to the 6XX. So it's a personal preference at that point.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take a look at those because I have these these are open back. I like them, but I mean I love them, but I definitely will at some point be getting like higher quality close backs just because I've used those for most of my fucking life, and I just love. I'm kind of a bass head, so
That's fair. I mean, to each their own.
Actually, since you mentioned that, I just found this out pretty recently. There's a 3rd edition to the shit stack that you can get. So if you have the Magni and the Modi, you can get the Loki, which is their equalizer. So you can adjust the high and low end to your liking.
Oh God.
So it's just another box to add to the stack.
Rip Conley blew out his headphones.
Jesus fuck, dude.
I'm waiting for the day where he hops in chat and goes, "So guys, I blew up a $300 pair of headphones."
I really hope I don't do that.
I have, and let me tell you, it's ass. I didn't blow up a $300 pair. I blew up my first pair of Hi-Fi Mans.
Already.
I had a pair of HE350s. I don't think I've told you this, Mike. Have I told you about this?
No, you haven't.
So I found out the hard way what electrostatic popping was.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
So I have a couple of old record players in my house. I think I sent you a video of them a while back, Mike.
Mhm.
And I've been working on them. Well, I got them working, is what I thought I had done. So on older record players, the way that you control the volume, there's a little knob that you press in, and if the pressure isn't right, it'll pop. That's why if you notice on some speakers, when you dial the knobs, it pops.
Mhm.
It's because the button on the inside that lines up with the knob isn't properly lined up, so it slips. Well, I didn't know that, and it was playing music now, so I was like, oh shit, cool, I fixed it. Because I replaced the belt on the table and everything. So I plugged in my Hi-Fi Mans, because it's, hold on, I'll go out there and look at the actual model real quick. You might hear my friend sitting at the table. So the exact model of turntable I have two of them, and then I have my shitty ass Victrola on top. I have a Panasonic PLL multiplex circuit. Really, really good, really solid. Has a tape deck and everything built into it.
Nice. Yeah, I'm looking at it.
So there's two of them
Oh
in
shit.
the living room.
Does this thing play 8 tracks? What the fuck?
Yep, it
Fucking-
plays 8 tracks too. But so I have my Hi-Fi Mans plugged into the balanced output on it, so it was twice as loud when it did it. And I had Lindsey Sterling's The Arena on vinyl, and I was playing it because I love Lindsey Sterling.
Yeah.
Well, I turned up the volume and heard it. It sounded like someone shot a gun right next to my ear.
Ooh.
Full blowout on the left side of my Hi-Fi Mans. So I had to order another pair.
How much was the first one you got?
The first one I got it on sale for like $90. The second one though was $130.
Ooh. Yeah.
So don't
Well,
crank your EQ too high.
got it. Fucking understood.
I think I might have mentioned this before. I'm thinking about getting a tube amp soon, just to try it out and see how I like it compared to what I'm using now, which is the Magni Heresy. I'm trying to
They're
decide.
supposed to have a warmer sound.
Yeah, and the 6XXs apparently really love tube amps. They sound great with them, from what I hear. So I'm thinking about either getting a little dot. I think it's the MK2 or a Dark Voice. The Dark Voice is more expensive, and the little dot is kind of a bit cheaper, but it's still good, and it's what they recommend as kind of your first tube amp. But we'll see. And then I am thinking about getting the shit Loki, as I mentioned, just to mess around with that on my shit stack and see how that sounds.
Tell me how good that works out for you, because the those record players actually have some modern outputs.
Yeah. If
So,
they have RCA and stuff, you can definitely use like a shit stack as a preamp if you want to.
that's what I want to do, because the last thing that's kind of fucked up with them that I'm really not even going to bother fixing, because I can just buy an outside preamp, is the preamp.
Mm-hmm.
So like the speakers that I have out there with it are two Panasonic thrusters. So they're pretty good tower speakers. They're solid, they're clear.
Yeah.
But they're powered, so having a preamp is kind of important because they sound stupid quiet without it.
Yeah. But anyway, if that's all we got, I guess we can figure out albums for next week.
So there There was one thing, and it's not big. I
Yeah.
want to know if you guys have ever heard of, because I know you guys listen to a wider range of stuff than I do. If you guys have heard of the artist The Caretaker,
I have not.
I
so
haven't either.
he's done this. He did this. I don't know how I found this, but I stumbled across a YouTube video discussing an album, or more like a collection of stuff that he did. He made and when it's in total, it is a 6.5 hour listen, and it's supposed to take you through. And I know this is a little out there, the stages of dementia.
What in the goddamn?
No, wait, I have heard of this. I've never
Like,
listened to it, but I saw this on a music forum a couple years back. I
so
I've
yeah.
yeah.
So like he breaks it up to a couple different things. The like the last
Oh,
the
I
last like
oh,
2 hours.
I'm looking at this on Wikipedia right now. It's like a 6 or 7 part project called
Yep.
Everywhere at the End of Time.
Yes. Yeah. And I've only gotten through I've only gotten through like 6 or 7 tracks.
Do we want to do an episode dedicated
Oh.
to it?
Each album is 40 minutes long.
Yeah, in total 6 to 7 hours. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12 songs at the very end of the project that are all at least 20 minutes long.
Jeez. Yeah,
It's
that last album is like an hour and a half.
it's a doozy. But that's supposed to be like the most difficult ones to get through. If people are listening all the way through, it's like the people say it's like the hardest to go through.
Do we want to do a challenge, like a tap out challenge for it? I'd be down. Mike's gonna make me listen to a Swans album eventually, anyways. So
Yeah. You want to dedicate like 8 hours to listening to music one day? Because I can throw that Swans album at you right now.
I want to? Absolutely not. Do I want to go on and get it over with so I don't have to deal with it on a day I'm not ready to? Yeah, kind of.
I mean, it's not the album I was going to pick for next week, but I mean, I can.
I wasn't necessarily saying to pick this. It was just kind of like
Do we
one
want to
of the
bet?
most interesting like concepts or concept albums I'd ever even heard of.
Here's an idea. Do we want to save this for the finale, maybe?
Yes, I would be perfectly okay with
Yeah,
that.
Okay.
I'd be
that
okay with
I think because what? So I have an idea on how we could do that. So it would take some commitment, and we'd all have to commit to it. But every day we listen to one of the albums, discuss stuff in the chat, and then the next day we do the same
Yeah.
until the actual episode.
Yeah, we can just have our notes ready ahead of time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it would have to be like a group collective effort to be on time every day so we could discuss the stuff.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, that works. And Ted said that he might be interested in coming back for the season finale, so having him on board with this too would be interesting.
That would be interesting. I don't know how well that would go over, seeing
would
as
be-
how Ted is
That would
not a known fan of controversial wiggly air opinions.
This would be really interesting.
But I'd be down for it. I think this is a really cool concept, and we should definitely explore more on it.
I wouldn't be mad if we did still want to have Ted on and we made this just maybe like the week before or something. I wouldn't be mad if Ted just straight out doesn't want to do it.
Yeah, like he
yeah,
doesn't have
it's
to
a
do
big
it.
commitment.
Because I've seen comments of people that were like, if you're not in the right mental state, don't fucking try it.
Oh wow.
People have said that people have said that once they get to those like 20-minute songs that they just start breaking down, just fucking bawling.
Oh.
Yeah,
So it's a commitment.
It's a really like you have to be in an okay headspace.
I'm just looking at these album titles like A Confusion So Thick You Forget Forgetting, A Brutal Bliss Beyond This Empty Defeat.
Sudden time regression into isolation. Yeah. It's
This
heavy.
is a really cool concept album, and I'd be way down to do it. But I don't. I had an idea. No, it's a bad idea. That's stupid. I'm not doing that.
And now I need to know what your idea is.
I looked over and saw my compendium of H.P. Lovecraft's works. I was thinking, oh, cool. I could listen, or I could read that entire compendium while listening to this, and I'm like, no, no, that's how you summon an elder god. I'm good. But
You're gonna be on sudden time regression into isolation, and suddenly you're just gonna hear a rumbling behind you.
I'm just going to come into the chat. Steven, you good? You've been awfully quiet. I know things. Yeah, about the album, right? What do you know? I know everything. You good, buddy? Just gargling and tentacle slapping noises.
Yeah.
On the topic of concept albums, I do want to talk more about this, like maybe
Yeah.
one day when we're all free and we can like work out the plans and everything.
Yeah.
But why don't next week we do concept albums? I don't think we've done concept albums yet.
I mean, I did like that one Devin Townsend album last season, but this would give me an excuse to talk about my favorite Between the Buried and Me album.
Oh.
So y'all want to do concepts?
I could probably find one. I think Steven already. I think you already did. You already covered American Idiot, didn't you?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. I can find something, but yeah, okay.
Y'all won't. Well, you might. I'm not gonna say we won't. I'll post it later and we can decide. So I'm gonna actually, Mike, can you put up a poll in Twitch chat for me?
I don't know that. I don't know that anybody's here for there to be a poll.
Ah, interesting.
Surprisingly,
All right.
Stallman's not even here.
Yeah.
Well, I will let y'all pick then. Do we want to do doomcore, power metal, or doom metal, power metal, or what's another one I've got?
I think we've done enough power metal last season, so do something that's not that.
Doom metal it is.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Hmm.
I can't think of what you know that's doom metal.
Oh, I can talk about. Okay, never mind. I know what I'll talk about.
I mean, I don't know that I've shown you Electric Wizard, but I don't think they have any concept albums.
No,
unless this is something that I'm not familiar with.
This is something you're not familiar with, Mike.
Oh boy.
Next week we will be listening to Tortuga's Deities.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a concept album, basically cataloging the mind of a man who became so enthralled with Lovecraft's mythologies he lost himself.
Very cool.
It's an instrumental album.
Very cool.
Okay.
All right.
It might take me a little bit to come up with mine. I'm not sure if what I am looking at is good enough or not good enough counts.
Right. Well, I'm going to be doing my favorite Between the Buried and Me album, which is Parallax 2 Future Sequence, which is basically about space.
Oh, yo, I dig it.
Bet.
Alright, so let me get this album posted. I think I've shown you bits and pieces from this, actually, Mike.
Maybe.
You'll probably recognize it when I post the album cover. It's kind of distinct. I say kind of, but it's pretty distinct. It's only 7 songs, so...
Let me scroll up a bit here.
But yeah, so,
Oh, actually, what? It turns out that... So I just scrolled up in the podcast chat because I've been posting what episode we're on before we post albums. This is episode 6. right now. So I'm
okay.
one behind. So this is not episode 5. This is episode 6. But I assume I've corrected myself while editing this for YouTube. So episode 7 is next week.
Okay.
Actually, one thing before we kind of finish up here.
Mm-hmm.
So I mentioned a while back when I was talking about Tesseract's Altered State that around the time that I decided I was going to talk about that album for the podcast, they had announced that they were re-releasing the album actually this month on vinyl, right?
Uh-huh.
And I said, okay, it's weird that this has happened a second time, and if it happens a third time, that absolutely confirms that I am some kind of weird music oracle, right? So when we were deciding the albums for this episode, I thought about doing Bonobo's Black Sands, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what's getting reissued on vinyl?
I love you, music wizard daddy.
Bonobo's Black Sands is being reissued for the 10th anniversary.
You should do me a solid, Mike, and say on podcast that Luca Torilia's Rhapsody of Fire is getting back together. They're going to have a reunion tour.
Oh yeah, totally.
Manifesting like super hardcore.
Look, man, I can only accidentally predict album reissues, not bands getting back together.
Please make it happen, Dad.
No promises.
Or perhaps you could, say out loud that MCR is making a new album. Do that.
Well, they're already doing the reunion tour, but it got canceled because of COVID, so
Fucking COVID.
Fuck COVID. Can't have shit in Detroit.
Yeah.
can't have shit anywhere. All right.
Accurate.
Well then. That's our album picks for next week. Episode 7 is next Sunday. We're gonna be talking about concept albums. I know words. So yeah. I don't have any plans after this stream because I have to fucking work tomorrow. Ooh, fucking Jeff Bezos. So the thing about this is, all week they've been like, "Yeah, man, we've been working so hard. Maybe we can convert some of this mandatory overtime to voluntary overtime." And then Saturday they were just like, "Mandatory overtime," and I'm like, "So what was that about canceling mandatory overtime? What was all that?
It wasn't real. It was a fake.
Yep.
Fucking dumb."
It's
Anyway,
a carefully crafted ploy by the government.
to get our hopes up and then crush us while we're down.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I'm taking a half day tomorrow. I'm clocking out at noon, and I'm gonna go home and do things. No, I'm actually
He's gonna go
I'm-
fat furiously.
absolutely. No, I'm gonna go with Matt, and we're gonna go look at another apartment. So
Y'all are already moving.
we're thinking about it. He wants to be moved into the apartment by the end of the month, or by the start of next month.
Okay.
So I mean, it's probably doable, but we'll see. But anyway, that's gonna wrap it up for the podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll catch y'all next week. So see ya.
Goodbye.
Peace.
Bye.